Hello, my name is Mary Yun, and I would like to present African American community and jazz music in Chicago. I've lived on the south side of Chicago, near Bronzeville, for the last 10 years, and that's why I chose this topic. Contents of the presentation will go first, African American community history in Chicago. Second, brief description of jazz music and important places and musicians of jazz music in Chicago. And lastly, my ethnography experience with Chicago Jazz Orchestra at the Jazz Showcase. First, African American community. African Americans have had a long history with Chicago. John Baptist DuSable is known as the father of Chicago, the first permanent settler in Chicago. He was of African descent. First black community was established in 1840 with fugitives and freedmen. Between 1916 and 1970, about 500,000 African Americans migrated to Chicago from the rural south of the United States to urban Chicago. This movement is called the Great Migrations. African Americans pursued more industrial job opportunities in urban cities. African Americans enjoyed increased fortunes, but still they experienced lots of problems, such as housing issues, job discrimination, racial tension between white and black people, and police brutality. Right now, the percentages of African Americans in Chicago is 29.2, which ranks the second biggest ethnic community in Chicago. The biggest African American community in Chicago is Austin community on the west side. Jazz music. Jazz music originated in the African American communities in New Orleans, Louisiana in the late 19th and early 20th century. Since the 1920s, the Jazz Age, jazz has been recognized as a major form of musical expression in traditional and popular music. Character: swing, blue notes, complex chords, call and response vocals, polyrhythms, and improvisation. Among them, rhythm, fill, and blues are West African music influences. Harmonic chords, variety of instruments are European music influences. Chicago is a very important place in jazz music in terms of performance, recording, and artistic evolution. First, performance. The Stroll was the biggest place in African American community. The State Street between 26th Street and 39th Street, which attracted a lot of African American and white people to listen to jazz music at cafes, nightclubs, and cabarets. Among them, Sunset Cafe and Plantation Cafe were important places. Notable Chicago jazz musicians: Earl Hines, jazz pianist and band leader. Nat King Cole, singer, jazz pianist, and songwriter. He sang the song "Unforgettable." Louis Armstrong, jazz trumpeter and vocalist. Chess Recording Company recorded many famous musicians such as Muddy Waters and Ramsey Lewis, and also its music influenced the Rolling Stones. This company recorded more authentic and less commercialized Chicago blues music. Regarding artistic evolution, Tony Jackson was a ragtime pianist who experimented ragtime piano music into jazz music with fresh improvisational possibilities. In the 1950s, AACM, Association for the Advancement of Creative Musicians, created avant-garde jazz-style music. Free atonal also didn't emphasize its players very much. This is the picture of singer Sarah Marie Young and me. I took this picture at the concert I attended on July 25th at Jazz Showcase. There were two parts in the concert. First part was played by instrumentalists, and the second parts were played sung by Sarah Marie Young. I particularly enjoyed jazz vocal music. Among the songs she sang, the list of the songs are here. Dearly Loved by Nancy Wilson, Cheek to Cheek by Ella Fitzgerald, Lullaby Birdland by Sarah Vaughan, Night in Tunisia by Ella Fitzgerald, Until I Met You, All Right, Okay, You Win. I would like to play two video clips I took at the concert. First one is instrumental music, and second one is vocal music. As you can see, the atmosphere of the concert hall was very informal and casual. People were sitting at tables and couches, listening to jazz music, ordering their own drinks. It was very nice experience. And as you can see, conductor is very free. Almost he's like dancing. And instrumentation is very Western classical music instruments such as saxophones, jazz guitar, piano, drum set, and a contrabass, trumpets and trombones. But the rhythm is very African, and also emphasizing the weak beats are very African. and we can feel African music influence. Second one is vocal music.
Trying to get the night in Tunisia, they guide you through the desert sand. Words fail to tell a tale too exotic to behold. Each night's a deeper night in a world ages old. The cares of the day seem to vanish. Each moment of night brings release. But shining at night in Tunisia, where the nights are filled with peace.
Yes, I had an interview with Sarah Marie Young via email. I asked her these questions. What draws you to jazz music? She said, I really love the storytelling and musical language unique to jazz. There is a lot of history in each song, both with the composer inside the lyrics and with the artist playing, singing the song. I love to dive into a song and learn all I can about it. The musical exchange between all of the participants, including the audience, is very rewarding. What's your insight on African music influences on jazz music in Chicago? She replied, Jazz music is directly influenced by African music. It is an African American art form. Different bell patterns, the use of tempo, and time signature all stem mostly from African music, and I would argue not as much from Western European music. Jazz and its iterations of jazz vocabulary was created and blossomed because of Black artists. Endnotes. Through this project, I learned jazz music is an ingenious music genre that came out of life experiences and human emotions from African American community using other cultural musical elements such as Western European music. I say music is more than a technique or a style. Jazz music I experienced told me so, and music reflects the whole life of the creators of the music and users of the music. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation, and the resources I used for this presentation are on this slide. Thank you.